I don't like to call this an interview. That's so industry, and we in the streets. We in industry. All right, y'all get it? We good? We game? We all everything straight?
Okay.
Man, Kanye to the Yeezy, yay! So many titles, and here we are today. Come from so long, so far away, man. How does it feel to be where you are now in this day and age?
Just being back here with you, I just think about going to your crib and, begging you for records and asking that, and you always, show me love with the records. You always put me on to the samples, even when I first started getting on in New York and selling beats, you just hit me with the house samples and, and to this day, we still all the way up to Fade, you know what I'm saying? We still at it. So we got it. Matter of fact, I need you to bring some samples to the studio with Chance tonight. So what I'm talking about. Let's get to work. I love to work, no doubt. And that's kind of how our whole relationship kind of evolved and started. What was really just working and just vibing together. Yeah, you used to come. Do you remember? It was a time you didn't even have an automobile. You remember that? Mm-hmm. You didn't have a car. Mm-hmm. And you was getting a ride, coming to borrow records. Records taller than him. He carrying up my mama's stairs, carrying out. What did you do when you got home with them records? Grind. Just sample, sit there. Same thing I did when I got to Wyoming. It's just sample, just take it back to day one. Listen to those, try to find the illest moments. Just even like what I was doing last night with Chance, just chopping up.
Just chopping samples.
Yeah.
And the funny part is when he did finally get his first car, you remember what that was? Expedition. Say I had an Expedition. He's he pulled up I got one just like you now. Ha, 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 ha.
That's how you said just now. He's like, I want to introduce you to my wife. I got one too.
I ain't there yet, but I'm trying to get there. I'm on my way there, man. Yeah. I'm definitely on my way there. So I want to go back, even before us, when you were a shorty, music. How did you get introduced to music as a whole?
My mama just playing records in the crib, cleaning up on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie and Anita and Mom gave little Anita. And my mom had giant record collection and a record player right next to the TV. Yeah. And one of my babysitters was a DJ also.
Wow.
So it was that. And I would listen to rap would only come on a Wednesday night or Tuesday night or something like that.
HBK or something like that. Yeah.
And I listened into wherever I could hear it. Now I just hear it on the radio also. Mm-hmm. I was just so creative and interested in creating. So when I was in 7th grade, I had this computer that my mom bought me. It cost $500. It was super expensive back then. And I got it to program video games because I was obsessed with video games. And so I started programming video games in 7th grade, and I needed to make the music for it. I found myself having more fun making the music part than actually programming the game. So now Yeezy has a game arm, and we actually doing video games. So it's back to square one. But it's bugged out when I really think about it and think about all the stuff that I've been through. I never really took time to think wow, I was a child prodigy. So people always how's Jay doing? How's Jay? I was man, I'm doing pretty okay as far as child prodigies go.
Who inspired you to get on that drum machine? Or who did you do your first beat with? Who taught you?
All Chicago knows that No ID taught me how to make beats, but also you got Doug Infinite. And the funny thing is No ID was Obama of beats in Chicago, you know what I mean? And when you couldn't get to No ID, he wouldn't pick up the phone because you was bugging him out too much or something like that, then you go, Doug will always let you over the crib and give you a couple more codes on how to chop. So I really learned how to think outside the box from No ID and Doug Infinite. And Doug had a store. I'd always go to visit his store. He had a skate shop, bro. So I'd always go to visit his skate shop. And just be down there playing beats in the parking lot and stuff. It's just incredible.
Then we move forward. Me and you meet. You doing beats. You got your group, the Go Getters.
Yeah.
Who did the Go Getters consist of?
GLC, Timmy G, and Aerostar, and Kanye West.
What made y'all put that? You went hard for the Go Getters. He was on me man, I need this on the radio. This is the group. This is what's next, man. He was on me. How did y'all come about putting that whole group together?
Just friends. I went to school with Aerostar. Like, it was some in class, like 7th or 8th grade, where they needed a rap from me. I couldn't even think of the rap. It was just a rap in my desk, and I read it like I rapped it like I wrote it. And Aaron had to tell me. I was like, you remember when you said that rap? I slipped that rap under your desk. And that's the universe. It's I love my boy T Mills always says the universe never sets you up to fail. So that's just one of the examples of how beautiful the universe really is when we've affirmed, what we want. And that's the thing. We take out the ifs, the wants and tries, and affirm what we want. And it just happens that thing's gonna slip under your desk. And it's like, people say, well, that's easy for you to say, yay, cause this. And it's like, well, your attitude determines your latitude. It's my mentality that's brought me to where I'm at today. And we haven't even seen anything yet.
If we ain't seen nothing yet, oh my goodness, we going to the moon, baby. We taking it way to the moon.
To Mars.
You remember Phil being with you? Yeah. And Phil used to tell me, Phil's like gangster rap. Phil used to be like, oh man, he can't rap, man. Don't let him stick to making beats. And I told you, hey man, some people got it. You got it. What made you want to start rapping?
I just love rapping. I'm just creative, and I like to do whatever I like to do. And became one of the coldest ever at it. And anything that I put my mind to, I'm going to become one of the coldest at it in time I don't like the word history or time. I just say just one of the coldest.
I see. That's for the shorties that's coming up. That's like something good that they can take.
They should use everything that I do. This is the mistakes, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. We had an emotional moment talking about the slave comment. And I say on this station that I wanted to take the time to just say that I've never apologized for the way it made people feel, to hear it in that way, to hear that reaction, and hear that feeling and that cry out. And I think in that moment, I believe the Spirit was speaking through me, to me, because I even in situations where I choose to be enslaved. I choose to, not diversify. I choose to wade in the water, as the certain like Negro spirituals would basically tell us to stay in this place and it'd be okay. Wade in the water, wade in the water. I ain't wading, ma. I'm not wading at all. I don't wade, whatever version of it mean at all. And it's also the communication, the direct communication, for us to be at odds with each other and beefing and doing this. Like, no, we have to communicate and open up our minds and talk and see what are our opportunities. A lot of times we're just not programmed or wired to think like that, where we got to unprogram and look at things that are happening in other cultures and the way that other cultures deal with each other, deal with family, deal with money, and apply that. Don't say, well, it ain't black to do it. It ain't black, because what's the definition of black? We constantly changing the definition of black, and we can't be limited or overly defined, because definitions can limit you. I can't do this because of that. I can't. And, we talk about, Yeezy, our organization, I don't like the word company, and the idea of Yeezy, I don't like the word brand. So is food, clothing, shelter, communication. I said education, but I changed the word to exposure, right? Because what you saw was very radical on TMZ. And let me say, I apologize for the way it made people feel. And also coming off of the MAGA hat into that, it was just too much for anyone to take. And I'm not blaming mental health, but I'm explaining mental health by saying that I definitely was ramped up. I definitely was a bit manic. And if anyone has people in their family that deal with that, they understand that it can go like Tourette's level when people go manic. So y'all got to experience someone that you actually love in the middle of TMZ going manic and saying things that they felt. So, and a lot of times people say bipolar. The word bi makes you think that it's like opposite things, when it's like a stronger expression of what you really feel, or calling from the universe, or a medium connection to the spirits, even the ability to channel, messages. And so it's like I was saying it not only to my people or our people, I like changing the word my to our people, I was also saying it, or someone was saying it to me. We are inundated with so much information. We know, everybody knows about everything, got 100,000 opinions about slavery, especially Black community, right? And we know everything about something that's racist, and we talk about that all the time, right? We don't know nothing about how Magic Johnson became a billionaire. There's no classes on that. There's always, you got history class, right? Mm-hmm. We don't got now class. We don't got future class. Now, the thing is, all time is infinite, it's all now in this universe. The past, the now, the future is all right now anyway. But we're so focused on the past that we can't get past it. Now, I'm not saying that in any way as I explain my opinion on it to say that it's justified that I hurt people's feelings with it. Let me keep on saying, I apologize, and I understand that it was traumatizing, and I understand that it was too much to take at one time, and especially specifically from me, and that was hurtful. So as I talk about this, it's not something that we're gonna just get over in a radio interview, but it's gonna take work. We gotta work together through this. It's like a family. Something happened, cousin do something messed up, or somebody, blah, blah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we're gonna have to work through this. Like,
bruh, you would never know. I'm gonna put you down on game right now, because you would never know.
No.
When stuff like that happens,
yeah.
Guess who feels some of the effect of it?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
GLC.
Yeah.
Really though. Those people are they may not be with you right now today, but they are forever remain tied to you forever.
Yeah.
Just because they were there in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime anything controversial comes with you, you know who get the heat. Hey, what's up with your mans? Your mans is tripping. You riding with him? That's your peoples? Damn, son. You down with good music? Those are the people that kind of take the hit for you. But we stand for you, but we take the hit for you.
One of the things I want to say, that when people ask about the Trump thing and like, do you like him? It's like, I like Bernie. I like Hillary. I like Obama. I love everybody. I'm actually riding with everybody. For someone to say you can't ride with both sides, it's like, okay, I go to Michigan Avenue and you can't go to the Nike store and go to Ralph Lauren. You can't go to Watertown. You only got to go to one store. You only got to be there. It's like a modern idea, like gangbanging or something. Mm-hmm. You know, even like red or blue, it's still red or blue. It's divisions. We don't need to think in divisions. We need to think in arms, because we actually one race, one people, all civilization. Everything is one. The universe is one. We the atmosphere. We the trees. We the animals. We everything. We need to really have that consideration. Even like if I get into an argument with my wife, I feel her perspective. If I'm in an argument with Rhymefest, I feel his perspective. And I look at what have I done or not done. Because it's like, what gains a man to, what is it, to gain the world but to lose his soul? Yep. And what you saw on TMZ was someone who was missing Rhymefest, who was missing GLC, who was missing Really Doe, who was missing Don C, who was missing John Monopoly. It's not a problem of like the Kardashians got you in the second place. No, it's like I didn't have enough of my family around me, and the Kardashians are in a position to afford to have their family around them, and I'm in a position to afford to have my family around me. But I hadn't taken that responsibility, because what people do is they put a new bill in front of you, like a new house, a new car, a new this, you building that, blah, blah. It's like people, they think about numbers too much. It's always like, people think about who got the #1 record, who doing the most streaming, who doing that. Like, man, all that, #1, all that, you know what I mean? It's like the soul, the spirit. What we need, we got numbers here because we got people. The greatest resource that we got is each other.
Very true. Very true. Very true. And another thing, you know, guys always wonder, well, these guys started with Ye. You know, they're really his family. Why aren't they with him? Why didn't he have his family with him? Meaning, like the GLCs, really, though. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of questions floating around Chicago, but I know that you've already addressed that. And,
you know, one of the things is like, look, just certain things come down to finances. When I was going and learning about apparel, no one was helping me, and it was like the civil rights movement. Y'all might think that's a joke, except until we get to the point where we actually making some money, we open up some other industries that we can be respected and have an opinion at. You never thought you'd see a black man at the head of Louis Vuitton.
No.
You know, we fought for that. When you go to this building, you go to the Gucci and Louis Vuitton across the street from each other and on Michigan Avenue. You never thought it was going to be a black man who had the right to have an opinion, because even the way they try to play us out is like, oh, you black, you ain't got taste. It's like, wait a second, we built the pyramids, but we wasn't exposed to that information. I guarantee you a pyramid is colder than any house that someone with taste, quote unquote, taste got.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
And the pyramids shall rise again. So, and I'm saying that, you know, metaphorically to, you know, what's happening. And, you know, all of this can happen. All of what's positive can happen through love, design, and physics. Just science. Let's get, you know, let's not behold to things that could be argued to be myths, and just get into the science. The love is the spiritual connection. The design, which, you know, I am a designer, I'm a producer, I'm strong with that, is the ability to put things together, to have the vision to see things. And the physics is just the science behind, you know, what needs to get done, which I'm not a scientist in that way. And everyone has a position in life. Some people are leaders, some people are meant to support, some people are, and what I see now is, in order for me to be, like it says on Only One, the man I always knew you'd be, I need that support system. I need the city, and the city needs me. You know, it's like, people could defend me and say, well, Chicago, yeah, he's done a lot for the city because he inspired people and he showed you what you could do and this and that. And that's cool, but I'm like one of the fathers of the city now, but people don't never get to see or really hear from their father, because their father is a reflection, was built by them, was built by the city. And also, you know, I'm cold. You need to see how cold I am to know how cold you are. To know how cold it is, you got to know that I'm running a multi-billion-dollar company. You got to hear my perspectives on time and space. You got to hear me sing Don't Bet It All on the Fentanyl, which Sly Polaroid gave me that line, by the way. Bump and Slide was out in Wyoming and stuff. You got to, while we having a opioid crisis and overdoses on medication. Meanwhile, you got record labels signing people just because they singing, telling people to take their meds. Now, the thing is, whether it's artificial intelligence or the medical industry, neither of these are all bad. This isn't Terminator 2. It's just working with it. It's just a balance. It's not overdoing it. It's communicating directly. It's not just shoving more pills down. People like, well, I hurt my foot and stuff. I went to UCLA. You can't imagine the amount of painkiller, you know, they offer me. I think it's there's a balance in the universe. And that's what I want to say, because I have to say that, because if I don't say that, they're going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? So I have to say that, look, we are not against the medical industry. We are not against, what was the thing I said? I said medical industry, another thing. Artificial. We are not against artificial intelligence. Because, you know, artificial intelligence like Amazon and, you know, why preying off I'm not going to go too far into it today. But it's just, don't forget about the spirit. Don't forget about the soul. And don't forget that we are people. We can't gain the world and lose our soul. And I believe God and the universe puts you in situations for us to, you know, understand that. And what you saw on TMZ was a person, you know, screaming for love, losing, that had lost some of his soul. Even with that, I didn't realize how much Chicago and the black community loved me until I saw the outcry on how it made them feel. Ooh. Because think about it, the day before, they just talk about an outfit of mine. The day before, my album coming out and they ain't even playing it in my own city. The day before, they talking about my family. The day before, you get what I'm saying? So I didn't feel the love either. And it's like, oh yeah, now I know you love me. And not that it's on purpose, but with that love, now I got something to feed off of. Now I got something to give. I didn't have nothing to feed off of at a certain point, other than people telling me who sold the most.
Bruh, this city will always love you.
Yeah.
This city will always love you.
Yeah.
This city, what this city wants is the love back. This city will never stop loving you.
Yeah.
They just want to see you. They want to be able to touch you. They want to hear you. What you saying now? These kids, they need this. They need this from you. You know, we got Chance out here doing things. We got Vic out here doing things. But nobody is as more important as you. You know?
Now the thing is, and yes, and I'm coming. That's the whole thing. It's like Optimus Prime is gonna come. is coming through. You got to get Luke to actually come through. You know, the number one Jedi, and not that it's a numbers thing, but we know who Luke is. So, and and the thing is, you know, it wasn't enough. I've done a lot, but I haven't done enough. That's bottom line. And it's time to do more. Now, I will state some of the things I have done for a second, so we could
don't know.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear for a second. Because when you mention those names, Chance, you mention the names, Vic, who's on SNL with them, you know what I'm saying? Who puts them at the beginning of the album? You know what I'm saying? So even though Dad isn't at home, we're still looking there. But now it's got to a point where it's time for, you know, even though as soon as I got home, I said, you know, okay, I'm gonna get a place in Chicago. It's time to come home, really be here to build. And, you know, it took some time because sometimes I go away and it's hurtful. And I go away for like 4 or 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years. Like when I first left Chicago, and GLC was real emotional about that. And then I brought him out there with me, and I brought Don C with me, and really dope. But then I came back with the College Dropout. And now we had our own, you know, rapper that he rapped, you know, maybe I didn't rap that good until about, you know, the second or third album. But it's like, he got a triple platinum album. We have a rap superstar now. And he on Rockefeller, and we love Jay-Z. And that was a good starting point. But then on Graduation, we had Beat 50 Cent's number. And that was a victory for Chicago. And then I literally brought the throne to Chicago. So, but those times I got to go away sometimes a little bit and build the relationships. I've been away building a relationship with Elon Musk, building a relationship with Jack Dorsey from Twitter, building a relationship with the president when no one wanted to build a relationship. No one wanted to have a dialogue. You just want to be like, oh, this. I said, look, I don't agree with all the policies, but y'all ain't gonna make me not talk to them. And if I gotta be a coon because I'm talking to it, then that's just what it's gonna be. But I'm gonna talk to them. I'm not gonna be controlled by tradition because that's how they got us. It's a choice, monolithic thought. They feel like they put a black person in a red car in the middle of a basketball game that we gonna buy this car. They pandering to us because they think that we easily controlled and that we'll control ourselves. We do more acts of violence on ourselves. I don't want to say, I'm not going to say other cultural names, but you hear black on black crime. You've heard that term, right? So think of other cultures, other races, other names. I don't hear about blank on blank crime. I'm saying blank on blank because it's them boys don't play. You can't even say their name out loud. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I also want to talk about racism. People like, man, you know, Trump's racist. If racism was a deal breaker, then we need to get out of America, period. He just show you what it is. It's like the grass is cut low now. It's like we get to really see, and that's my whole thing, exposure. Now you can make a decision for yourself. Because otherwise, we would have been pacified. And being pacified, you're not going to cure the cancer. Now we woke for real.
How do you feel when people say they miss the old Kanye?
That's what missing is about. Missing something old or something.
It's like, man, I miss the old Kanye. Man, why we can't get that old Kanye sound and the Jay Dilla tracks and all? What you think about it?
You know, people talk about the golden era of anything, golden era hip hop, golden era Ye music. The golden era of Ye is now and forever. Because you're talking about the old Kanye, but all music is basically Ye now. So you got it. You got it. You have it. You have it from every direction. It's been decentralized. The spirit is there. But let me make it less metaphysical, all that, and like, I'll chop up them samples though. But I think of raps. But I also got a family. I also have a voice that's as impactful as Obama's, that's as impactful as Oprah's, that's impactful as Gandhi or Dr. King or Tesla, Nikola Tesla, Einstein. And it's gonna be people say, man, this man, his voice is as powerful as Gandhi. Well, if you talk about it, it must be. So I'm just affirming it, so y'all know what level we're talking about. And that's the now Kanye. And I'm happy in the now. People always be thinking about the past too much. It's always, we have to get past the past. That was great at that time. I could focus all my effort into the college drop. I could focus all my effort into dark fantasy. But now I see the world as my keyboard. I see, what's happening with prison habilitation, not rehabilitation, because habilitation. Because when I was talking to Miss Brown and Jim Brown, what Miss Brown said was that we have never had the ability in the first place. So how the hell is some rehabilitation? It's habilitation. It's gaining these abilities and this confidence in the first place. We lack confidence in general. You're taught to be humble, but that's being taught to be controlled. We can have some humility. As I stand humility, I stand humble, in my city, and humbled by the fact that you guys would take the time to listen to me after the words and my actions have hurt you. But also, we have to have the confidence and the dignity. And who could even give us this confidence if fathers were strategically removed in the 80s? Who could give us this confidence if you see free thought and that's classified as crazy? One of the things that I will say I like about the TMZ situation is you guys got to see an unadulterated version of free thought from someone that has had maximum exposure to the world, maximum exposure to companies, maximum exposure to, fashion, maximum exposure to politics. And then this person with that in a ramped up state feels this way, feels that it's a choice. It's something to think about. It's like, there's a lot of philosophers that died broke, alone, or were murdered, and all these different things. The more, Galileo, what do you mean the sun doesn't, revolve around the earth? We gotta kill you for just challenging the thought. Try new thoughts. They ain't always gonna be right, but let's stop missing the old and try something new. The actual definition of crazy is to keep doing something old, expecting something new. I have to step in front of the whole crazy thing. And let me tell you, I've been diagnosed with bipolarity, and I haven't taken medication in 5 months. And I'm talking to you super calm. I get my sleep. I don't drink a lot of alcohol. I drink a lot of water. I work on my diet, and I work on my mind, and I talk and be around people who love me. You need love. The world needs love, and especially sensitive people with so-called mental health issues need love. That's that lack. And we all got mental health issues, but I will say bipolar is it's almost like a luxury version of mental health. It's one where I can sit here without medication and talk to you in a non-crazy state. Like sometimes people are schizophrenic and rather they have to be washed in medication. But what I do have to talk to you about is like, you're not gonna write us off, the so-called crazy community. As soon as someone's crazy, then you don't believe them no more. And they might be the only one that actually got the answer. They might be channeling or receiving something from the spirits, something from a different dimension that needs to be heard to help us. That doesn't come from a capitalist point of view. That doesn't come from the programming. The program, we talk about the simulation. We all programmed in a way. We all we love something, we feel something, we want to do something. We say, oh, but I don't know what this person's gonna say. It's two buttons that we control by: love and fear. Are you doing something because you love it? Or are you doing something because you're fearful? And I understand that certain ways that I talk might feel insensitive to every person's situations. Meaning like, yeah, you think like that because you rich. Well, I think it's important that you know how a rich person thinks.
Hey, you gotta know it from every angle. Are you seriously considering the presidency? How about that? That's something that you brought up, running for president. How serious are you?
I mean,
about
you just
that?
saw right now it would be cold. So, yes, it 100% could happen. 2024.
You gonna try it?
If I decide to do it, it will be done. I'm not gonna try.
I love it. I love the confidence, hey, man. Yay for president 2024. Let's get with the program.
What I want to say, I just thought about one of my main things once I'm president is the medical industry. I'm going to make sure that the medical industry flourishes. This is one thing I learned by hanging around with Jay-Z and being married to my wife is you can't f up the paper. That's the problem with a lot of the radical leaders in the past, whether it's like Malcolm or Gandhi or Martin. It's certain things where they go in and they're so righteous or so liberal that they f up the paper. If you f up the paper, your head gonna get knocked off, period. I'm not going in to, when I become president, to go and f up the paper. Because I tell you what, Trump ain't f up the paper. Those jobs are up. Those taxes are being saved on. Now, I'm sure I don't know all the policies. I don't agree with everything that any other man does, period. And I'm not particularly left or right. I thought of a name of my party that I would run with. I thought, my party I'm going to run with, the birthday party.
What's the meaning behind it?
I don't know, it's just a joke.
What's the meaning behind it?
But it's just to say that when I would meet with Obama, they got so tied into everything that it meant to be democratic, to lobby for this, to that. And then the right gets so tied in to what that is. And really, we all in this together. We say we're all in the same gang. And I really want to express that I have love for Bernie. I have love for Trump. I have love for Hillary. I have love for all parties, everything. But we need a dialogue. And another thing I want to say is to wear the hat was also an expression of bravery. Like, now what? We still win number one, and we're going to add some numbers to it. He canceled. Now what? You know what that is? It's a modern day electric fence, a modern day form of slavery. You can't say this, you're going to get canceled. People got things in their mind that they say and feel, or they got things that they did 10 years ago that they hope don't ever come out. And blah, 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 I'm going to lose my job if this happened. And this whole cancel culture mentality. And every now and then it got to be somebody that just goes up and says, now what? Because that's the only way change is really going to happen. It's sometimes you got to break some of the rules. But I said all that to say, when I run, I'm not going to f the money. And what I like about being the founder of I'm going to call it a company right now, a $1.8 billion company, is this is awesome training because America is a company. To be able to have the artist side and the humanity that I grew up with my parents being activists and working for Operation Push, and my dad being a Black Panther, and my mom getting arrested for sit-ins and all of this, and being taught about the pyramids and the Sphinx Canal, all this that I've been taught. But now also learning how to really run a business, because you should not be president unless you've ran a multi-billion-dollar business, in my opinion.
Yeah, because you're dealing with finances.
Oh, you dealing with finance?
Country is built around money,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely. Warm it up, Chris said, do you have a bucket list? If so, what are the few things on that list? Pretty rich, man. Have a bucket list.
Work to work more with Chicago. Also to focus the energy. We got a marketing fund with Adidas, and I'm focusing all of that energy here in the city. to do things like what Vic just did with the shoes, and to sit with the, we ain't gonna have none of this, setting people up, get arrested with free shoes. That, because there's one thing about Chicago is we not corny, and that's corny.
Super.
That's cool. We're gonna do. I don't care if you from Chicago. I don't care if you a gangster, you school teacher, you're a policeman. We not corny. You know what I'm saying? As much as we don't want to be known for having a wild out saying slavery is a choice on TMZ, we don't want to be known for doing no corny shit to our people like that. Mm-hmm. And that's gonna be direct conversations that we're having with the mayor. Also, one of the ideas I had is like for the policemen. Force versus power, something my dad talked to me about. Law enforcement, when people don't have power, then they have to use force. To be able to have the dialogue, to be able to not only go and sit with people who have been wrongfully locked up, but to be able to sit and really go and sit and understand the side and perspective of the police officers too. They in this city also. It's always like, the police, Trump, the mayor, everybody. And I swear it's like I feel you. I be wanting to say that. It'd be times like I be wanting to be like Drake, like why he come at me like that? I'm dealing with mental health, why he fucking with me like this? Like I stay 4 blocks down the street from this man. I ain't got nothing but love, and he got love for me. Why we doing that? But right when I think that thought, I think no, it's not him. It's we have to love him. We don't know what this man is dealing with, what he's going through, why he's lashing out. This might be a cry for love that he's having. This might be a cry for attention that he's having. You know what I'm saying? So it's not him. It's not. We got to stop. It's so cool to say the world. I got my friend Wes Lang that did the Yeezus merch, did all the art, right? He changed his tattoo from FTW to love the world. We real wired to say the world. We love a movie with someone getting killed and this is bad things happen. It becomes torture porn almost. It's like we keep saying and seeing the same thing. You got, GLC told me that the murder rate's down 28%, but people ain't talking about that outside of Chicago. We ain't hearing about that. We just keep on hearing about how bad something is. But if we start focusing on how good something is, then more of that good is going to happen. Yeah. That's where the confidence comes, because none of us are perfect and we all have different attributes. Like GLC is a historian. He's a reader. I'm spiritual. I get my communication from the Lord. I just sit on, Telethon and say, George Bush don't care. Where did that George Bush don't care about black people come from? The old Ye would have said, George Bush don't care, and that said it clearly. The new Ye, after meeting with Tony Robbins and meeting with different speakers, made sure that was more clear. Because sometimes I think that happens with Trump. It's like the way he communicates, it's easy to find something wrong in what he's saying. He gives you these quotes that are just so like over, whereas like Obama is such a genius communicator that you almost can't even find a quote, like a standout quote. Give me an Obama quote. That's he communicates in like the best way I would describe is like in a decentralized form of communication. Where you can't, it's elusive. You can't hold nothing on them. And that is super intelligence right there. You got to get, that man is cold. The fact that he's doing that. You see, now, and that is great for politicians, and that's great for school, and that's great. But that method is not great for business. Because when you're a businessman, you're going to drop those bombs on them. You got, like me, I got 90 employees. People need to understand exactly what you're saying, exactly what they stand, exactly what their responsibility is. And sometimes that's going to hurt a little bit. So what I think you're hearing a lot of times when Trump is talking is the way people talk in business. People you've never, because by the way, a lot of us, the majority of us don't have people in our family that run $500 million, billion-dollar companies. So we've never even heard this vernacular before. When I hear it, I say, oh, it sounds like business. But I had to go into it to understand it. You know what I'm saying? You just never, it's like first time you heard rap or DMX or NWA, people burn the CDs also because it was so jarring. We never heard it sound like that before. This is like, oh, whoa, for real? So this is just new. It's an opportunity. And that's one of the things I really loved about this man having the opportunity to be president is something new every day. Like when it's a politician that can speak to the point where this man could talk to you for an hour and you don't even have a quote from it. Like, it's like, what do you even get out of it? Other than the fact that you're just happy that it's someone that's black that speaks white English extremely well. You know, that's another thing when black people are talking about like how good we speak. What do you mean good? It ain't even our tongue. What are you talking about? You know, we speak better with dance, maybe with music, maybe with food, maybe with just love, maybe with sewing, maybe with style, maybe with this, but we're still translating exactly how to sound. And we're having to balance two things. Are we speaking black enough for our community and white enough to understand it for people in business to understand us and for us to move forward? And it's not like we've got our own, you know, I think the term is like non-gentrified. Gentrified is like, what's the version when it's like the community is not going downtown to buy all their stuff? So, you know, gentrification, when they talk about it's, Mama, I'm sorry for not having this word down and I'm talking on radio. I want to embarrass you from heaven and stuff and embarrass the, you know, all of the.
Y'all know the word?
But basically, okay, you know, you know this thing where black people started, you know, buying all their clothes, you know, outside of the black community. So we don't even know how to have our own language, our own dialect, because we going down to Gucci store afraid to be in a store but wanting to spend all of our money to prove that we somehow validated in this country and to our people. We wired to spend all of our money to prove something. We going broke trying to impress other broke people.
True, but a lot of that is kids influenced by who? What they see, the artists, the rappers, the entertainers. That's how they know about Gucci. A lot of them, they see these guys in them on the TV, the videos. They see them in these Gucci shoes. I gotta have that, or I'm not cool if I don't have a Gucci top.
Well, let me tell you what we doing there with high fashion and style and all that. It's like, remember, like drill, everyone rap. Everybody rap like Chief Keef. Everybody rap like Valet. You know, like period. You know what I'm saying? And then you got, of course, Migos and this, you know, so not everybody, but drill and Valet style is the most popular styles in rap, period. So there was a time when we used to copy New York rappers and we wanted to, so even when I came out, I rapped in New York.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and then I add a little bit of a Southern, you know, thing to it, like South Side, you know, and 50 was doing it too at the same time when his thing. I mean, he first started doing it. I was like, man, that's our style. We rap New York was Chicago accent. That's our style, man. So now there's a transition in that I'm bringing a pawn in fashion. Because I love the Gucci store, right? You know why I love the Gucci store? Because I love Alessandro, the head designer. He cold. So, of course, man, we're going to be going in there all the time. He got so much energy, so many ideas. That man is cold. You know what I'm saying? So what I've been doing is going to these schools where the talent comes from and hiring the coldest on the planet. And what's so dope about Balenciaga and Louis Vuitton is Demna, the head of Balenciaga, worked at Yeezy. And everybody knows that Virgil worked at Yeezy, the head of Louis Vuitton. So now y'all know how cold the designs is. So when we bring these prices down, you're not gonna feel that you have to have the validation of that extra cost to know that you're getting something that's cold. Because if any of y'all go to Ruth's Chris or anything, where the people used to go after prom, that one restaurant, Cheesecake. Or what's the other one? Grand Lux.
Yeah.
You telling me that if you order the fried chicken, it's gonna be better than Harold's? It's gonna actually be way worse, right? That's what we doing at Yeezy. We making the Harold's version of apparel that even though it's gonna be affordable, literally H&M Uniqlo price, it's going to be cold as, not colder, but cold as Balenciaga, cold as Louis Vuitton, cold as Gucci. Look at me now. Look at me. God damn, I look good. This Dickie. Look at me with some Yeezy boots.
Really? Dickies for real? Hey, you can make anything look good, man. Believe that. Anything. let's take a question from the people.
Yeah.
Let's get the people involved. The life of Lizzo said, how has fatherhood changed your life?
Well, I love that you see this reflection of yourself and your kids, and the way you work on your time. It's not all about you. I will say, man, I never trust nobody that's really rich and don't got no kids. Because they just they could be so extremely selfish. It's really just about them. There's times where North want to design a dress made out of bubble wrap in the morning, and I become her assistant designer for 20 minutes, and she be screaming at me, you didn't hold the plastic right. You never gonna sell no clothes like this. There's a 5-year-old talking about I'm never gonna say, you not no good designer. I'm like, damn, you worse than the internet, North. Come on now. Somebody gonna buy these brown sweatshirts, come on. But so having kids really put you know what I'm saying? Because I could go and be the boss and be talking and having all these, Trump level bold quotes and stuff to my team and stuff. But it humbles you because I work for my daughter. I work for my kids. And it's nothing, I can't talk them out of the way they feel because they haven't been programmed yet to know what's right. They just know what they feel. They don't believe in time yet. They don't believe, but they, you know what I'm saying? They don't.
They kids.
Yeah.
Miss Katrina Lynn said, out of the new artists in the game now, who are you vibing with and respect, like the new cats?
Okay, so we touched on that a little a bit because I keep on. Quavo is my brother. I love Quavo. I love Travis. That's my brother. I love Drake like anybody that's from Chicago. I love Valet. I love Pump. I love 6ix9ine. I
Really?
love Triple X.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Triple X. First name 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
You like 6ix9ine?
Yeah, I love his
Even
energy.
Have you
his
seen
spirit.
the controversy that he has?
Come on, man. Don't talk to me about controversy. It's yay.
No, it's a different type of controversy.
No, it ain't no different type of controversy. We all the same. We all the
you
same
don't go
person.
around picking fights and saying the stuff that he say about
Well, so
people.
what does make him like a worse person than someone else or something like that? He like worse than one of our cousins that's like locked up or something like that? That's our family. He our family. We all family.
But why would you go picking with people in Chicago, in LA, the gangsters? Why would you do that? Do you think that's smart?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that are not always smart. Like, if I say I love Drake, that don't mean I don't love Pusha. Obviously, I love Pusha too. It always be this one of the things like you gotta pick a side, choosing sides. Stop all the sides. We on the same side. When I go and hug Virgil at the Louis Vuitton show, what it's saying is, we've been through it. We've been through it with the Pistons. Like, fashion was like the Pistons for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, just beating us down and shit. Like, you have no idea what we was in, what we've been through to get to that point. And when we hug, we saying this is Mike and Pippen. We on the same team, actually. And we all on the same team, period. So I'm glad that you pointed that out, man. Because I got love for everyone, literally. I know it might not sound like the coolest thing in the world to say. And it's way cooler to be like, yo, that, this. But bro, you can't imagine the amount of love that I have in my heart and spirit for all people. When somebody that does you wrong, it's like, he's gonna make me like, yo, this. If somebody like literally went and tried to, hurt your family or hurt you and this and that and like, and you still got love. That's me. You can't talk me out of my love. You can't talk me out of my love. And if you try to feel me out of love, you can't. That ain't gonna win because love's the strongest feeling. So it ain't no beating love.
I got a question for you. My guy, the young bull, the young guy, I got a young cat here. He sent me a post that Trippie Redd put up saying he wanted you to donate $30 million to a hospital in Chicago or something like that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did just see that a couple of days ago.
What do you feel about that?
I feel like it's a lot of work that's gonna need to be done in Chicago, but we have to be mindful of where we're getting the money from and how much money we spend and where. And I haven't done the research to just, go and do that. There's a version of me that said, man, I miss the ability just to go to the park and just nobody know who I was. But that would be a lie because I always wanted to be famous. I knew people was gonna know who I was. So I actually did not like the experience of people not knowing who I was.
Oh, for real?
I quite like the experience of going places and it's like, yay. I'm like, yeah. But, I really live in the now. Like I said, I live in the now. And the universe is bringing it all, and it can't be stopped. It's like, so don't even try to stop it. It can't be stopped.
Ooh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, well, that's like the song I got. I thought about killing you. I talk about thinking about killing myself and thinking about depression and not want to be in your situation. And, you know, now my mentality is in a place where I would not think about killing myself. And I love everything about me. And that's not me telling you not to love everything about you. That's for you to love everything about your situation. And positive or negative, it's all energy. So like I said on Reborn, I want all the smoke. All right?
Go wrap it up. Hey, man, we did you gave me the opportunity to work with you. We did a song, Theraflu, Way Too Cold. From that song, you were such a genius that you took one little part of what I did and you put it on the Chief Keef I Don't Like remix, and you made it the staple saying of the city.
I just want to restate, me saying I like 6ix9ine is not saying I don't like people that he don't like. Let me explain that.
Just to clarify that one time.
I don't like, you know what I mean? Because it's not, let me just clarify that.
DJ Pharris.
Follow DJ Pharris on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at DJ Pharris. That's DJPHARRIS.